Well, hello! Thank you for coming back to my channel. If you're new, I hope you clicked on this video because maybe you can relate to some of the stories, who knows? But yeah, this isn't clickbait or anything, I just really wanted to talk about. There were just a few stories that I wanted to talk about that I haven't yet shared with most people. If you were there, sorry. I didn't make it less awkward, but anyways, here were a few stories about some embarrassing bedwetting stories, and then some embarrassing regular overactive bladder stories. So here we go. The first one that sticks out in my mind is a time when I was a girls camp counselor. I think I was for the ages of 8 through 11, and we were in a cabin. Like, that was, the older girls got to go in the lodge, we were in the cabin, and there were bunks there, right? Kids were in the larger part of the cabin. The counselors were in like behind a curtain in like a small closet room anyways. So I was on the bottom bunk, and my co-counselor was on the top bunk, and so, which is a good thing because I'm going to tell you why. I didn't even think about it, I just kind of chose the bottom bunk, I think. But anyways, it's time for a drinky poo. Before I knew about like adult diapers and stuff like that and pads, not like it was a new thing, it's just I didn't really practice using them every day. Before I knew about that, I would just kind of hope that I wouldn't wet the bed at night. Do my best to like control how much fluid I would take in, especially if I'm staying out at someone else's house or at camp, for instance, and then I would just hopefully wake up. And that didn't always happen, to be honest. I think it actually was more rare that I woke up and went to the bathroom then. Like going through the night entirely without wetting the bed. Most of the time I'd wet the bed a little bit and just put a towel down, but it'd still smell. Regardless, the point of this story is that I was a girls camp counselor at one point, and this one was pretty traumatic, to be honest. I woke up in the middle of the night cold and wet. And I was like, oh, I guess I wet my sleeping bag, whatever. And the mattresses are like those weird foamy rubber covered things. Yeah, I woke up wet and cold, mostly cold. I think that's what woke me up. I was like, man, this is really cold out. I wonder why I'm so cold. And I went to touch like my legs and touch my butt to see if it was like I was lying in a puddle of pee. Not only was I lying in my completely soaked sleeping bag, not only was I lying in that, it was also dripping onto the floor. It was that soaked. I was completely covered. Like, the only thing that wasn't like covered in urine was my pillow and the top of my body, basically. My shirt was completely covered, my underwear, and obviously the sleeping bag was completely just soaked in urine. It was so disgusting. Fortunately, that night I didn't actually use like one of those like regular top sheets that you would use on like your own bed. For some reason I didn't like sleep in it. I just kind of kept it off. So what I did was, I think I took the sleeping bag and just threw it in like a regular garbage bag for the morning and tried to clean up as best I could without waking anyone up. Like, I'm sure I woke someone up, but the point is it was so disgusting, and it just like traumatized me. I was like, that is horrid. It was dripping on the ground. It was so soaked. There was nowhere for it to go. So anyways, that's story number one. Another traumatic story. It has two parts to this story. So basically the first part was, I was at a girlfriend's house in high school, and I slept in her bed with her. I think I was with her. I was in her bed, and in the morning I woke up and I had just wet the bed like a little puddle. So I don't know who is just openly gonna say like, yeah, sorry kid, I wet your bed, like whatever, no big deal. But like, I was just so embarrassed, so I didn't say anything. And she wasn't, I guess she obviously knew. We didn't say anything to each other. Like, her mom didn't say, no one. It just kind of like happened. We ignored it and then moved on with our lives. So fast forward, I think about 3-4 years, I ended up working with this girl, and not a big deal. Like, I liked her. I didn't think that we were gonna like talk about that moment ever. Like, we never physically face-to-face person, like we didn't talk about this ever again. However, I think one day she was quite upset with me. So she went and told all my other coworkers and one of my best friends at the time at work, who that this happened one time, that I wet her bed. and some new girl who I had never even met before. She was just about to start working with us. She told her too. And she told everyone, like one time in high school I wet her bed and like pissed all over her bed, and she got so mad at me, and like I never even like knew that she was still holding this against me, but like, yeah, it's kind of gross and disgusting, and like it happened. But the point was that she told everyone at work that I worked with every day. And when I found out was I was actually driving to Mississauga to go see my best friend, and my friend calls me, and then she's like, something happened at work, and we'll just call her Samantha. Samantha's really mad at you, and I think she told everyone that you like wet her bed in high school. And my friend was really understanding. She was like, yeah, like, I get it. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, that happens every now and then. I was like, no, like, we'll call friend number 2, the one who called me, Jill. Like, no, Jill, like, you don't understand. Like, that happened a long time ago, and, like, that's kind of a recurring thing. Like, I still have that issue. I sort of, like, played it up, like, from time to time kind of thing. She was like, so Jill's like, yeah, no, totally, like, I get it. Like, it's just a really crappy thing, like, that Samantha said to you. I said to the new girl. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, she told the new girl that you wet her bed in high school and she's so mad at you. I was like, can you tell me the new girl's name so I can like Facebook message her? So I messaged the new girl, and I was like, hey, like I'm pretty sure I still have the message. I was like super awkward. I was like, hey, I'm so sorry that you heard about this. Like, I really hope that like you've never even met me, and like I don't know what happened, but like just like I'm so sorry. Like that's the first impression you get of me. Like I don't even know what to say. Like I'm so embarrassed. And she's like, don't worry about it. I think that Samantha was just in like a really bad mood. Like it's not a big deal. Like I get it. Like everyone was fine. It just that Samantha had some ish with me and like told everyone, and it was super unprofessional and super annoying, and I just that was that. So that was really freaking annoying. There were obviously a bunch of times that like I would stay over at girlfriends' houses and stuff. So another time was I was staying over at a bunch of girls were staying over at a friend's house, and we were probably, I would say like I would say we were about 9 or 10. I think we were pretty young, maybe even little, maybe around 10. Let's just go with 10. And we were staying over at this girl's house, and she was like, it was from our church, like we were all really close, so we were like hang out every now and then, like stay over, have girls' nights or whatever. But I was sleeping in the girl's house we were at, in her bed with another girl who I'm still friends with. We were both in the same bed, and we were sleeping together, and I was terrified I was gonna wet the bed while she was sleeping beside me. And like I just hear her like snoring away like really quietly, and I was so like terrified that something bad was gonna happen. And I think I woke up a couple hours later and I was like, no, because like I like once again like wet the bed like a tiny bit, and I was like, and no matter what, like is it still you wet the bed or you don't? Like the fact was it was small enough that I could like hide it while she was still sleeping beside me. So like I slept on it, and I was like, damn it, like I don't know what to do. Like I don't want to wake her up and be like, can you, like we need to change the sheets kind of thing. That was just really annoying. No one ever talked about it again, but like it stuck with me, of course. Another time I was at my best friend back when I was not homeschooled. Before I got homeschooled, that's another story, but like before I got homeschooled I had a best friend, and I used to go to her house all the time. Like it was the best. Like we were so close, and she had a younger sister. And like the three of us, like most of the time it was just the two of us, but like the three of us would hang out all the time. It was her birthday, my best friend's birthday. So I was at her house, and I think it might have been a little bit snowy out or something. So like her mom and my friend were like convincing me to like just stay over. And they were like, yeah, you can stay over, like totally stay over. And I was like, no, I don't think I can, because I didn't have any pull-ups or like good nights with me. And I honestly don't even remember what the outcome was. I just remember being so embarrassed and having to go tell her mom in a different room, like, look, I'm gonna wet the bed if I stay over. And I think she said like her younger sister had a pair of pull-ups or something that I could use. It might have been the outcome. I just remember having to tell her mom, and her mom being like, don't worry about it. But yeah, that was like another like traumatic story that stuck out to me. And here's another good one. Like these are like all stories that like don't exactly directly deal with the person I'm with. So this one, I was staying at my friend's house before, like from Saturday night to Sunday, so we were going to church in the morning, and I had gotten up and I had actually brought a good night with me, and I, changed in the bathroom, got ready, and was like sitting downstairs ready to go to church. And so because I took off the good night, I put it in the trash in the bathroom that I thought it would go in, like considering it was a bathroom. Put it in there, and then I was sitting downstairs. It didn't even faze me that that would be weird or gross or something. All I know is I hear from upstairs, my friend was getting ready too, and then her mom had, I guess, just used the bathroom, and she just got so mad at my friend because apparently she's not supposed to. So I guess my friend also used good nights. So her mom got mad at her because she wasn't supposed to use that trash for the good nights. I can't remember if there was a dog or something that would tear them apart. Like my dog would do that all the time with like pads and stuff. Like I can't remember why, but I remember her yelling. I'm just gonna use a different name again, of course, but I'm gonna say her name was Sophie. Okay, whatever. Her name was Sophie. I remember her mom just being like, Sophie, and like yelling at her from like her room. And like Sophie comes out, she's like, what's up? And like her mom was like, how many times have I told you not to put your good nights in the trash and like in the bathroom? And I was just like so like I think, wait, hold on. I think I was just like, wait, that was me. Wait, they're yelling at me. They're talking about me. Like, what's going on? Wait, what are they talking about? Like, how did she know? All I know is that I heard Sophie say to her mom, she's like, Mom, that wasn't me. I think that was like, and they started getting quiet. Cause like, I know what she ended up saying was like, I think that was Olivia's. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I felt so bad. Like, I got my friend in trouble, and then all I heard was like, her mom go, oh, like, with realization, like, oh, okay. So like I think they took the bag downstairs and put it in like the trash outside. Like maybe it was just a smell. Like I don't know. The whole thing was like they weren't supposed to use the bathroom upstairs for like their trash for good nights. Anyways, I got my friend in trouble. I felt so bad. They didn't talk to me about it, but I was just like, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I hate myself. This video might be a two-parter because there's a bunch of more stories that I can think of. But I'll just end with another, like, I guess, bedwetting story, and then I'll go into like more like overactive bladder stories that have happened in the past, and if any more I can think of. So another thing was for the past, I don't know, 24 years, I've been really close to my grandma. She's been like my best friend through thick and thin. I love her to pieces, and I've lived with her. At one point I lived with my family, my mom and my brothers and I lived with her during a hard time, and at one point in our lives we lived with my grandmother for 6 months. The time apparently I was staying with my grandmother, I never wet the bed, that I was told. I think I might have been 8, but I just remember my grandmother having this conversation with me when I was in university. She was just, because I was staying with her during that time too, it was just like, hey, your house is so much closer to Ottawa University. I'm just gonna take the bus there and back like every day and then go home on weekends or something. So basically I would just have 2 places to live, whatever. And she like pulled me aside one night and she's like, did you still wet the bed, right? Kind of thing. And when I was like, yeah, like I still wet the bed. And I remember her just being like, just having like, I don't know, like regret or like sadness. She just felt bad. And I think she felt bad because she wanted to know why I never wet the bed back when I was 8. Remember, this is 10 years later. I was 18 when I was going to university. And she was like, so you never used to wet the bed at my house and you stayed over when you lived with me back then. And now that you're living with me again, like, do you still wet the bed? And I was like, no. Like, at this point, I'm still not wearing diapers at night. But, like, I'm just wearing underwear and waking up, hopefully, or not. But at this point, I was living with my grandma. And I don't think I wet the bed yet. Like, I don't really remember that time because, like, everything just, like, fades together. Like, this being such a normality in my life, like, it didn't really matter that much to me as long as I was cleaning up and taking care of it. And then my family supported me. So she was, like, so sad and confused and angry and all at once, and I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, I felt like, so basically her point was, when you lived with me, you didn't wet the bed, and then when you moved out, you started wetting the bed again. So I'm confused. Were you not comfortable living with me? And it went back to the fact that she thought I was uncomfortable at my own grandmother's house, that when I slept over, I wasn't sleeping completely, like I wasn't completely asleep or something. And she was hurt by something I couldn't control. And it was so weird to me that I was like, I couldn't tell you, no, Grandma, like this is 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't know why I wet the bed. I don't know, like when I don't wet the bed, I don't know what the whole thing is. Like I've slept fine. I've never had a problem waking up feeling extremely tired at certain times in my life. Like if I wasn't sleeping properly and I wasn't completely asleep during those 6 months, I don't know. Like I don't know why I didn't wet the bed. And she just like she was trying so hard to be nice, but she couldn't understand why those times in her life, in my life, that it was different. And I didn't have the answer to it. I still don't. Maybe that's true. Maybe I just was in someone else's house, and when I stay over at someone else's house, like, my self-conscious would just automatically not let me wet the bed, but other times it would, so, like, I don't know. So anyways, she got really upset, and I think I was upset, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, why are you attacking me? Anyways, we are, like, tell her pretty much everything. Like, I tell her all about my Toronto stories and whenever I go see the doctor and stuff. So, like, everything's fine now. It was just it's one of those conversations you kind of just have to have, like, out in the open. Like, this was a time in both of our lives that, like, doesn't make sense. So anyway, that's my story, part 1, I guess, of awkward, uncomfortable, embarrassing, if you will, bedwetting stories. If you liked them and you want to hear more, give it a thumbs up, and I will continue to come up with more stories. These are completely true. I didn't fabricate them in any way. I did protect people's identities just in case you don't want to be heard, be part of this. But yeah, that's all for today. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!